A big part of my job is assembling the right group of people. What's nice about working with this company is that in this show, I've worked with every single person in the cast, some several times, and so there's a shorthand there that's really wonderful because I know what they've been challenged to do before, and so I get to give them opportunities that they might not get elsewhere because I have a feeling that they could play this different kind of part, but they're not really getting cast as that kind of part in other theaters. And so we're always looking for opportunities for our company members to not only you know, give them the chance for success, but to give them something to do that they haven't done before. Comedy is something we don't do very often in this company, and this kind of silly slapstick, but also paired with the really high linguistic skill that they need. This is all rhymed couplets. The entire show is rhymed couplets, so to be able to kind of make that language alive was this really interesting challenge for the company, to be goofy, wacky, zany, and also really specific with the language.
I mean, I love this play. I hadn't really read much of David Ives' work before, and I love the comedy that he intersperses so beautifully, but with the deeper meanings. And I think, to me, something that I really love about this play is the relationships that you see develop, especially for me working so closely with the actor that plays Lucrece, Angela. It's been really nice because I feel like we've sort of been able to manifest our characters' relationships in our own interactions with each other. And I think the friendship that you see develop between them is really special.
Every woman who is in the cast is an alumna of Wellesley College. And backstage, we have interns who are current students, who are running the sound, who are running around doing all the props, who are running the box office, and building the sets. And so we do have this wonderfully sort of integrated place. And it's great to see backstage everyone interacting and giving each other advice and lifting each other up, and that's part of it too, that continuity between student life, professional life, and beyond. Pierre Corneille wrote the original play, Le Menteur, based on a Spanish play. So Pierre Corneille's family all was involved in law in the Normandy region of France in 1600 era, 17th century. And he began writing plays after sort of shirking his placement in some civil service position that they had put him up in. And his plays got enough recognition that he wound up going to Paris, where he was supported by Cardinal Richelieu for a time, who was very strict about what he wanted the structure of plays to entail. Corneille broke with all of those unities on his most famous play, which is El Cid. And he was kicked out of Paris, he was kicked out of his patronage, and he went home, had a period of time where he wasn't writing and licking his wounds back in Normandy, and then he wrote Le Menteur, The Liar. And started to sort of snowball again, and then wrote again through until the end of his life. So this play sat around, it's in the canon of his works and of French theater history, but virtually unknown to English-speaking audiences. There were a couple of translations, but it really wasn't done. We're very Molière-oriented around here, we're very Racine-oriented, and this play was kind of languishing in the corners. In 2010, the Shakespeare Theatre in DC were focused on commissioning adaptations of scripts that were forgotten like this, and this was the first script that they commissioned from David Ives, who is a phenomenal playwright. I grew familiar with him when I was in high school doing a production of All in the Timing, which is this brilliant collection of short plays that he was really very well known for. And he began to do these, what he calls translaptations, which are partly translation, partly adaptation, where he took the Le Menteur, he translated it, but then he saw that for our contemporary audiences, not only the language needed to be updated and contemporary references put in, but also structurally there were things that he thought, well, I don't get enough of this character, I want more of this character, I want, you know, I don't need this whole plot line. So he really sort of carved through and created a new path for the lives of these characters. So actually it's attributed to David Ives, adapted from Le Menteur. It's really a David Ives play inspired by this play, The Liar, by Corneille.
Durant is well, he's a out-of-towner from Poitiers. He's referred to as a rube in the show, but I think Durant thinks he's quite great and is destined for great things in Paris. And he comes to Paris specifically to join the army and lead a soldier's voltaic life. And along the way meets Cliton, who becomes his valet. And can never tell a lie, whereas Durant can pretty much only tell lies. On top of that, Durant is an incredibly high-energy character who has to discover everything. He lives in the moment more than any character I think I've ever been asked to portray. And so you really have to just kind of live at the edge of your seat. There's always a danger for Durant. This idea that, you know, he's pulling each word just milliseconds before it comes out of his mouth. So I think that breakneck pace and that knife's edge that he walks is something that is difficult to embody the entire piece, but is certainly exciting because of it. You'll take this note?
Yes. If you teach me how to lie, I tell the truth, I just make people squirm. You score. I get the sex life of a worm.
You can't just pick up lying. Lying's an art.
Oh, please, sir, please.
All right. Here's where you start. All the world's a lie, and all men and women merely liars, for each must play
a part?
A role. The earth's a scrim, Cliton, a fiction, a sometimes happy, most times grim depiction, masking some vast, mysterious, cosmic whole. We can't admit this truth down in our soul, so we drag out our lives, however tawdry. You play Cliton. He's Oliver, she's Audrey, each acting as if this sad scene were it. That's where the liar comes in and adds some wit. He knows it's a commedia we're masked for.
You know, this may be a bit more than what I asked for.
He's nobody. Everybody. A dart of bliss. He celebrates this planet's artifice, and in a world where priests and princes lie, he blends in like a painted butterfly, spinning to poetry our daily prose. He's given a turn, and he turns it into a rose. Assembling like a magpie, this and this, a gypsy wife, the Tuileries, a kiss, unreeling colors from his endless schools. He does what nature does with nature's tools. What need has he for facts, details that cloy? He shows us what might be and brings us joy. So, try to catch me out. Come on, I'm at bat. Just ask me something.
Okay, tit for tat. So, where are you from?
Japan.
I didn't know that.
I'm not.
Oh, man.
You note my Arabic.
I half expected you'd speak Japanese. I'll get to this time.
Good, we'll start anew.
Nice weather, huh?
Oh, I feel a drop.
Me too. Damn it.
What's that?
Where?
Oh, nothing, just a pimple.
A zit. God damn it.
Lying is so simple. First, natural gestures. Keep your gravity low and centered. See that? Everything must flow.
So flow.
Most vital is the optic nerve. Engage me. Don't allow your gaze to swerve.
Don't swerve.
An easy tone, but with some verve. So speak your speeches trippingly upon the tongue.
Tripping.
Let truth be told, but let your lies be sung.
With verb.
Irrelevant details are key. It was the 10th of May at 6:03.
Gripping.
And sprinkle in some poetry. The bluebells were just fading now, forsooth. And lastly, never, ever speak the truth.
Lie.
So, sum up the principles of lying.
I can't remember.
Are you lying?
No, I'm trying to get them back.
That's very good.
But I'm
That's
not lying
great.
yet. Wait. I've got it. The principles of lying.
Go.
Don't swerve, be tripping, poetry, stay low, irrelevant details with verve, and flow.
And
Never ever tell the truth.
bravo, Clayton! Bravo! You see how much you've mastered?
Who, me?
You liar.
Oh, I'm a lying bastard. Come on, ask me anything.
Where are you from?
Paris, Japan.
Wow.
Smooth, huh?
I succumbed. What city?
Oh, you know.
Tokyo?
Shanghai.
Brilliant. Now, get thee forth and multiply.
But getting back to plot, sir, you don't fret that this lie about your kid's the diciest yet?
Another rung on my amorous ladder. Haha! And here's a maiden who can aid the matter.
So we are performing Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays at 2 p.m. until February 4th.
Great. Anything else you wanted to add?
Call to reserve, 781. Yeah, is that right? Yeah, call to reserve, 781-283-2000.
Because you do have full houses.
We have had full houses for sure. And we have 3 weeks left. So now's the time to reserve your seat.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.